Just here in the studio, gonna work on some riffing, um, work on some new stuff. See if anybody joins me on here. I don't know. Didn't really say anything. I don't know how it all works, but if not, I'll just continue on and people can watch it later, man. I mean, I don't know how all that kind of thing works out in the end. Fix my hair real quick. Wow, it's all weird. Dirty hair. Anyway, I am gonna work on this song called Shattered Past. I wanted to redo the guitar a little bit just because it, when I work on songs and things, like lately I've been just trying to chase around some sounds, and I found that I have this really cool Ingle amp setting on my quad cortex that's like really great into here, so it's like pretty awesome actually. And like what I did before, I was using like a 5150 guitar sound out of the quad cord through this, and I mean we could listen back and see which one sounds better, but like this needs to happen. So I've been working on this one. It's called Shattered Past. I'm gonna put a little bit of click track in. Hold on, I'm gonna just see how loud it is. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little click track in just so I'm not wasting my time with doing it. So it's how I do things. So always like have the click track going no matter what. I am gonna play to the song right now, and the song's being worked on and stuff. So we're gonna give that a go. Let me see if I can get my guitar in here better. I know it's backwards, but what am I gonna do? Just see, that's enough. You can see the neck. So yeah, so down here is what I run it through, in case anybody is ever wondering. I'll show you my rig real quick. I don't have it set up the way I usually would, but there's a quad core, and it just goes straight into the back of my interface, and it's ready to go. I prefer it so much more in comparison to plugins. How do you play the rhythm of Flashback? It's backwards, but the rhythm of that, pretty easy. So it's just like a D. Ooh. Hold on, let me tune. Way off. Close enough. So that's the basis of it. So you probably can't really see, but everything's here rooted on the second fret on the D string. So second fret of the fucking D string right there. Just like a bar chord on the G. Those two areas is the main area for that. Well, it's more like, it's not really a true bar chord, so it's like the other part of the bar chord. And then I do like a little lick that's just based around a bar chord. And then just bar chords here. It's 3rd fret on the A, 5th fret on D, 5th fret on the A, open A, little lick. So the last part is just a little. So So bar chord on the 4th fret of the G, bar chord on the 5th fret of the G, bar chord on the 5th fret of the A. So all for 6th gen there, the whole thing, and obviously this is backwards, so good luck. But you know, I'm trying to explain it so maybe it makes sense and you can hear it and see my fingers. That's the whole lick. But there's a little every other one. I think the harmony guitar comes in. I have no idea what that is off the top of my head. So I'm gonna leave that be. I'm gonna move on to kind of working on this real quick. Yeah, that's how that one goes. So this song is this is new. And you could hear all this and 6th gen, I tuned C standard. So you gotta tune the guitar way down. Otherwise, I think if you tune it normally, if the guitar's tuned normal, it would be it'd be here. I don't even know how you would play it. I don't know. So good luck with that. You got to tune it down. Yeah, you'll figure it out. I hope that helped out. Now, I'm gonna work on some new stuff. But everybody, if you aren't on my Patreon, please go to the Patreon support. There's three different tiers. If you do the Die Hard tier, you get to hear all the demos on how I work. I have a folder in there that I upload everything, and yeah. I changed your folding game. Good deal. Love it. Love it. Here we go. I gotta remember how this goes. I do a little lick in the beginning. All right. Oh, I have it set up where I was drumming. how that one's gonna be done. Messed up on the fucking transition. Trying to remember this off on the spot was a little dodgy because I haven't played it in a while. And like I said, just showing you guys the day to day and trying to get y'all like, into what I'm doing. So like I said, Patreon is like the way I can keep doing everything and sharing everything I do with you guys. And like, I honestly, like at this point in time, as far as guitar sound goes right now, man, I'm telling you, dude, the Cortex right now, the quad Cortex, and I have no relationship with Neural DSP, the company that makes the quad core, no affiliation. But for recording, this has been amazing. I actually have a way that I split the signal and I get a direct signal and a recorded track at the same time. But since I'm still working on this new record and I'm still in a pre-production phase of it all, like I'm not, like what I'm doing right now is not, I'm gonna be on the album. I need to restring. I've been playing this guitar like mad on other songs. And so right now I'm just kind of like, I'm at a point where it's like, all right, go back, play it. And that's like a good sign usually if I've like not played the song in a while and I go to play it and like I remember most of it. That pretty much means I think I got it down pretty good. But yeah, I'm using this capture or whatever preset that I found that I've modified it though heavily, of an Engel Savage 120. I use the Engel Live. I use the Powerball too. I'll show it to you guys over here. My live setup is a little different. Take a walk through the studio right now, and so you can see. So I use this Engel right here, Powerball 2. Sorry for the mess. I did experiment. I did a little experimenting with the quad core against the Engel, as far as like, I know a lot of people are using like floor units now, and I experimented with it a lot. I even tried getting one of these things for the guitar players out there. I'm gonna go grab this. This thing made it back into the box really quickly, by the way. I am not going to give this too much love, but the Seymour Duncan Power Stage. So that's kind of what people are using. That's what people are using with the Neural quad core and like for cabs or whatever. It's just a little power amp with a little thing going on so you could have your sounds the same. I didn't really like it. Like, this is like my sound, so yeah, I had to change things around. I'm using the quad core more as for a monitoring source. I can show you guys how I do that real quickly, and then I'm probably gonna take off, be on for a few more minutes here. So if anybody has any questions or whatever, please put it in the comments here, because we are live, so we can definitely chit-chat a little bit about things. So I even have it plugged into my interface, so when I go to the drum set, oh my goodness. Oh, shit. Whoa. Definitely messing things up. Okay, there we go. I just need to be able to swing this. So I have this thing plugged into my headphones, which makes me wireless in the studio when it comes to headphones. So these are very affordable, and I've had more expensive units, and honestly, this is the way to go for me, is this little X Vibe, and this is for your in-ear monitoring. But I'm using it in the studio, so like when I do it, I use the Bear Dynamic. These ones are the DT770 Pro Limited Edition 32 ohm drivers, and let me tell you, these headphones rule. These are awesome. Like, when I hear things out here and then I put these on, I'm just like, man, like, I just always like everything I listen to, I want to listen to with these on. These are so good. Like it just makes everything warm and bright and how everything should sound. Like I couldn't speak more highly of a headphone if it was possible. But anyways, what I do live, I cannot shred. No, I do not do like Yingwei at all. I could do a little pentatonic thing for you real quick, but I'm more of a songwriter, arranger. I'm not really. I don't go out to try to like shred. That's just everybody knows that's not really my thing. I love playing lead guitar and I love writing solos and all that. But when it comes down to just grabbing a guitar and doing this like crazy ass shit, like I'm just not your guy. Yeah. So how I do this? So I'm gonna change our angle here down to my floor unit here. So we got the quad core right here, and this thing has a lot of outputs. So I mean, this is hanging right now, but usually, so like live, this goes into here, into my input. These two right here are my outputs. This goes to the interface. This goes to the input. So that's my direct line, which I said it goes into. Well, right now it's going through the bass, but usually it would go into here into the guitar preamp down here. But anyway, live with the Cortex. So what I did with the Quad Cortex live, so they get this is the transmitter, and here's your receiver. And I have no affiliation with X Vive, no affiliation. So just so you know that. This is just stuff I personally use. So this actually goes into an output, and I have a whole different live thing that I have where it's all routed to here because there's multi outputs. You get 4 outputs. You get your 1/4 inch jack, and then your XLR. But you get 2 outputs here, and then you get one here, and then you get one here. I actually plug my microphone into here as well, so it all runs through here. So, yeah, so I plug that into there, and man, like, fuck yeah. Do I like 80s hair metal bands? Is that somebody asked me here? Shane? I do. Of course I do. But like I said, like like I'm just more of just a noodler. I don't really sit here and try to show off too much. What happened? So like, the things I like to just sit around and do are just little, and I haven't even warmed up any leads. So like, I just like to do like little scales here and there to get myself started. Just do little, sorry. And just start doing any of those. Yeah, I mean, I know Doc and stuff. I don't play other people's music. I stay in my world of like, I write what I write, and that's like what I focus on. So I don't really, like, I probably have learned a lot of Dawkins songs, and plus I'm tuned down, so it'd be really wonky. But yeah, like, you just... Pretty sloppy there, but favorite Thin Lizzy album. Oh man. Well, I mean, Jailbreak is the like the the super popular one. So, like I would say, yeah, it has so many good songs on Jailbreak, but I really, really like Renegade. I think that's a good album because I think the song Angel of Death is probably like my one of my favorite Thin Lizzy songs because it's just like it's really heavy and really great. Yeah, Black Rose. Yeah, see, I'm like thinking here. I'm totally not in the mind state of like, what's your favorite this album right now? I'm like, oh shit, I've been smoking a joint, so I'm like trying to like, you gotta, I gotta kind of dig in the brain real quick. Favorite Megadeth album? I mean, that's much easier because like I think I like everything Thin Lizzy has done, where I do not like everything Megadeth has done. So I could say that flat and simple. It doesn't get any more simple than that. I think Phil Lynott, in comparison to Dave Mustaine, was just way more centered in his songwriting and kind of did what he knew how to do best, whereas Dave experimented on some records that I don't love, but the one that always is stand out for Megadeth is of course Rust in Peace. It's just front to back flawless. The production that they got out of that, the guitar sounds so clear and smooth. Dave's singing on it, really incredible as well. As far as his singing has gone over the course of his career, probably the highlight of his singing was on Rust in Peace. As far as that, my opinion goes of the thing, anyway, and you're asking me. So, Professor Poopy Pants, what's a Megadeth? A Megadeth is some serious heavy metal thrash legends: Dave Mustaine, Dave Ellefson, Chris Poland, Gar Samuelson, and I mean and supposedly Dave had like written the name on a napkin while on his bus ride home from being fired from Metallica. So that's what a Megadeth is, and they've been killing it for years and years and years. Even with some stinky albums, still great. I mean, you got to figure that it happens eventually. Not all of them are going to be the best thing you've ever done. You just have to it's part of the path of being a musician and just like, you're all right. Like, is this a great record? Like, we could go put Risk on right now and be like, yeah, no, real quickly. It's not great, but it's not bad either. So, is there any more questions? Because like I'm gonna get going here in a minute. I'm gonna work on this stuff. I showed you guys a bunch of my rig and played a new song. Patreon, all kinds of tiers, man. Like, go subscribe. There'll be a link in the description, or you could just find it patreon.com. Haunt the Nation, or just put Haunt the Nation Patreon in Google search and it'll find it. Just sign up, even if it's just for free, if you're into Patreon, because like that's how I'm gonna be able to keep doing this live stuff. I'm using Logic Pro back here, and yeah, I mean, I got like, as far as that goes with editing, it's very simple. I only really at this point, since I'm like in the early days of Haunt, since I didn't have any money or any way to survive off of music entirely, and to really do this, I kind of had to like take a little backseat from the job I was working at, and try to finance everything and be able to spend a little bit more time writing songs. But Ignite has changed. Wait, Zach, when you hear the different, like, it's not the same song. You might be disappointed, but here's the thing. That's the beauty of like the Patreon, is like you can download the demos that I'm working on and things like, same Pirating FL Studios was the way to go for me. I don't know. Fruity Loops. I'm not really. I've always just kind of gone with an Apple setup. So Logic just makes sense. Another thing is I use an Apogee Ensemble Thunderbolt. They're kind of they're I know that Apogee they had to discontinue this because they were not able to get a certain processing chip for it anymore, and they have the Symphony, which I don't like as much. I think it's probably a better unit, but like this has like reamping capabilities and all these things that like I just kind of like to have there, and I can get 48K sample rate all day. So as long as you capture your guitar in 48K, your mixing and mastering guy is gonna be plenty happy. So yeah, like all three of those, the like Logic, Apple, Apogee, they kind of all like Apogee has always been like kind of the Mac product of the interface world. So I've always used it because they just have really good support for it. Like it just always works really well. I'm just now starting to have a little bit of problems with some things, and it's because my computer is getting older. It's a 2017. So you really do get your money's worth out of an Apple, and that should be testament to that. So the fact that this thing is heavily upgraded to there's no more storage, no more RAM, all of it's been filled. So this computer has got me through several years, and I am looking like at new computers this year and like actually widening this one a little bit. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Like I'm a little bit out of a loss. I could definitely use a bigger screen. It would be more. So I might go like a Mac Mini and just like upgrade it to the everything terabyte storage, you know, and have more USB ports because I need the USB ports for MIDI instruments and stuff. So yeah, man, I'm gonna get going. So if there's any more questions before I go, I got a couple more minutes I can spend here. I plan on like putting a half hour into this today and talking to everybody real quick and whatnot. So thanks for everybody for showing up, man, on here. This has actually been incredible. I've been doing this on I mean, yeah, if I did a curved dual monitor setup, it would be fantastic. I don't even know where to go. Like my desk is pretty sick. I mean, I have it like set up. I got my digital mixer and my digital console right there, and a couple Yamaha HS8s, and then you know the rack gear, which is I've really slimmed this down to just a few things. There's the Neve preamp on the top. That's like it's the Neve 5211 2-channel preamp unit, really great. And then below it the Avalon U5. You can use this for bass. This I'm not using right now because I was using it as those were my overhead mics, and changing that up a little bit. So yeah, and then everybody should own a distressor down here. So you have and then obviously your interface. That's all I need anymore. Oh well, obviously the U87 AI right there to record your voice. So yeah, hopefully everybody liked the quick little snip of everything. Do you have a personal favorite haunt song? Doesn't have to be number one. You can just name one favorite at the moment. Well, right now I'm like knee deep in writing and recording this new record for next year, and I really just been deep into it, doing something I've not done in a while, which is just really look at the songs and play them a lot. In the past, I'd just be like, all right, I got a song, I'm done. Kind of deal, and not seeing how it aged. And like, so with this record I've been like aging it. Just I started writing it last year, so it's been a year. I've been like fine-tuning it. I've actually rewritten the songs almost. It's like I just chose the things I liked, and like one thing I got going in my head to help me with the process is like, do you want to play these? How, like, what is this going to be live? How does this interpret live? And I think that's why like early records, bands like First Records and stuff are like the best, because you're still working on material live in front of people more. So it's like you're getting a different thing. But after a while, you start to get so many songs where it's like you don't get to play all of them live unless you choose to. and that's really complicated. You know, it's like you just can't do that anymore, and things become it becomes a new challenge that you're faced with. So I've just kind of evolved, you know, like from the days of playing it more. You know, because in the early days of Haunt, I only had 4 songs out before Burst into Flame. I had like Luminous Eyes, and we did a tour out to Hell's Heroes where we were playing Burst into Flame for the first time. We were playing Frozen in Time for the first times, Reflectors, Heroes, Crystal Ball. So we played like that, like, because we only had so many songs, so we had to, like, I think it was those 5 that we did, and then the 4 from the Luminous Eyes EP, which never were played live beforehand. So in that sense, like the Luminous Eyes EP, none of it was played live. It was just boom, here it is. As Burst into Flame kind of did that, but like right now, I just went off on a tangent. Holy crap, man! I don't even know. But anyway, like right now, I'm just really into what the new stuff is, like Shattered Past, which is what I'm working on right now. I'm like really like involved into the music in a whole new light, because I'm like, we're gonna play some of this stuff out on the road in August. We're not gonna drown people in new songs or anything, but we're like talking about every night we do a brand new song, so we can fill it out, and I can fill it out, and try to make like the best Haunt record that could be made right now, and just totally from natural organic place, like the evolution of things, like kind of being like, man, it's like really hard to tell if you like something if you never played it before in front of anybody. And that kind of thing was like, we realized like that's kind of important, like playing it in front of people, because it changes. Because even the songs like let's just say Frozen in Time, man, like I sing it so different now. I would never, like, looking at it now and looking how I've been, you know, evolving as a vocalist over the years, I would have done things a lot differently on that. Even though it's perfectly fine by all means, I'm just saying, like, there's things that I do live now in it that just makes it so much easier to sing and more fluent, you know? But yeah. All right, so I'm out of here. Y'all have a great weekend, and like I said, if you can get on Patreon, there's like a free tier, and I'm trying to be more active on there. I'm trying to get away from all the Facebook stuff and do a better job of keeping a journal of everything. Some of y'all have seen me on Facebook Live for years. I started doing it back in the pandemic, and I feel like I've just lost this like vast amount of stuff where I would love to go back and see. So I'm trying to do more here. So keep an eye out, and I'm so glad to see how many people have came in today and checked it out. So thank you all for taking the time to see what I'm doing in my world, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Take care.